The question, how did the Goetheanum Meditation Initiative and Living Connections Conference come into the being?
Hello, Inessa. That's a very nice question. The Goetheanum Meditation Worldwide Initiative started about 12 years ago, and it's very interesting to know that it started basically by the funders. It was inaugurated through the funders of the Anthroposophical Society at the Goetheanum, because it's a non-profit organization, a worldwide network, the Anthroposophical Society, and needs financing through foundations and donations. The funders try to establish what is the key, the core purpose of the Anthroposophical Society or the School of Spiritual Science. And they went into a long exploration of that and came to the understanding together that meditation is actually the big gift and the main part of this inner path of schooling of the School of Spiritual Science, which was brought by Rudolf Steiner. And therefore they said, in order for us to be able to fund the Goetheanum, we need to understand more about the meditative practice which is promoted by anthroposophy. And it seems to be undercover. Nobody really talks about it openly. And in the world, there's a lot of talk, whether it's yoga or whether it's mindfulness or whether it's other contemplative practices, there is a lot of conversation and dialogue that happens around meditation. And so their question was, how is anthroposophical meditation different to, or how can it be part of the world conversation? And so the World Goetheanum meditation initiative was founded. That's 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And that built up in regular 2 yearly meetings, sometimes in Sweden, sometimes at the Goetheanum. The group grew bigger and bigger. There were people who were invited, and the idea was that everybody who joined were people who were actually not only practicing meditation, but also teaching it, training it, taking it into their corporate companies or into their fields of work, and actually practicing it with their co-workers, or teaching it, training it. Mm-hmm. So that work carried on for nearly 10 years. And then the question was, okay, we are now deepening our own understanding of anthroposophical meditation, because it was always only members of the School of Spiritual Science who were partaking in these conferences. When are we going to now open this up to the public? Because that was the actual question. How do we become part of the world conversation? And then after a couple of years of planning and a lot of discussion of how best to do this, Living Connections was begun. And we had a first big Living Connections conference at the Goetheanum in 2017, where we tried to invite as broadly and intergenerationally and interdisciplinary as possible, also interculturally. Mm-hmm. And this was the first one. And we thought with this, we've kind of accomplished the whole point of the Goetheanum Meditation Worldwide Initiative, and we could actually close this process because we'd accomplished what we wanted to. But the response was, now we need another one. We've only just started this process of exploring Goetheanum meditation, anthroposophical meditation, exploring it publicly. And now we need to continue that process and open it more and more to the public. And therefore, mm-hmm. we planned a next one. But because of COVID, we couldn't do any further big conferences. And now in 2022, finally, after many small conferences and preparation conferences, we are now launching the next big international Living Connections conference at the Goetheanum. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And this conference is taking place in person or online or both?
This conference will take place definitely in person. That's the whole idea. And we will meet at the Goetheanum and hopefully have as many people from as many different cultures and practices as possible. And parts of it will be online as well, as far as I understand. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, Joan.
Yes. Thank you.